Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, Wargaming released not one, not two, but 3 devblogs for World of Warships. Apparently the devs have gotten back from their break, and boy, have they returned with quite the surprise for us. So here I'm going to go ahead and read through these devblogs word for word and then give you guys my personal opinions on whatever it is they are changing or adding into the game. And since this is 3 devblogs, this might be a bit of a longer one, so grab your popcorn and whatever favorite snack that you have and a drink, and let's go ahead and get going. A link to all 3 of these will be in the description down below, so feel free to check it out for yourself, and I do highly encourage you to do that. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. So ST.10.0 changes to test ships, German battleships, and commander skills. We adjusted the parameters of some ships based on testing results. The changes will be applied to Italian battleships and Vampire 2. There are also changes to the updated skills for aircraft carriers and cruisers, as well as to the secondary caliber, oh god, that's English, as well as to the secondary caliber guns of German battleships. Again, the translation, I'm pretty sure it's just straight Russian to English without too much oversight into it. So sometimes I get tongue-tied like that because it's technically correct in English, but the wording's just weird. Anyway, here we go. We're making changes to some skills based on the result of the 10.0 test. Aircraft carriers. Enhanced armor-piercing ammunition, announced as piercing armament. Bonus to damage of AP bombs and rockets lowered from 5% to 3%. Enhanced aircraft armor, announced as Senior Aircraft Armor Specialist. Reduction of AA shell explosion damage reduced from 33% to 25%. Proximity fuse, announced as Ruthless. Torpedo protection damage reduction lowered from 15% to 10%. Okay, so these are some of those, I've mentioned these before, those BS aircraft carrier skills that are just straight up massive buffs to aircraft carriers and to their planes. And they did take the Nerf hammer to these quite, I wouldn't say hard, but pretty heavy-handed. Now, my deal with this isn't necessarily that it's giving them a buff, it's that there is still no big downside to it. So it's good that they're reducing the bonus that it gets the AP bombs and rockets from 5% to 3%, because before that would have allowed a ship like MVR to literally delete cruisers that it comes across with 1 bomb run. And if they get all 3 bombs off, it could do like 30-ish thousand damage in 1 run if they took this skill. And there's still no downside to it. Whereas if you take this skill on battleships, it increases your flooding and fire time by 40%, which is insane. The enhanced aircraft armor, that got nerfed a bit too. I don't really think they should be adding in any skills that's increasing the plane's survivability versus AA, because right now, if you're a very good CV player, it's nigh impossible to do any significant amount of damage to their planes. And then also adding this to a ship like FDR, like, okay, the planes just aren't going to get shot down now. Obviously, they're going to get shot down, but it's going to take a whole lot more effort to shoot them down. Proximity fuse, which is the skill that just allows torpedoes to ignore your torpedo protection, got decreased from 15% to 10%. Again, a good change, but I would like to see some type of significant downside to the CVs on this part as well, because again, like on battleships and cruisers, when they take skills like this, they get pretty big downsides for doing more damage, whereas so far in CVs, most of these skills, I think all these skills, there's not a major downside to it. Alright, cruisers, heavy AP shells, announced as armor-piercing cruiser. Bonus to damage caused by AP shells with a caliber of 190mm and higher, lowered from 7% to 5%. Okay, seems like a reasonable change. I also like how they're changing the names of the skills from just like the torpedo skill. They changed it from Ruthless to Proximity Fuse, thereby giving, you know, a somewhat grounded in reality explanation as to why it's doing so much more damage, rather than the kind of full-on arcadey name like Ruthless. Like, okay, you know, and that's the thing with like the current commander skills, like their names give you some type of hint or idea that, hey, you know, the crew's gone through this training, or you have this equipment on board that increases the the effectiveness of this part of your ship rather than just, oh, it's a magical percentage buff. Even though it is that, but these names kind of give that illusion that there's something on your ship now, like heavy AP shells, that's increasing the performance of your ship for whatever aspect is being improved. And I like that. It's a very small thing. I know it is, but I like that. Okay. I was very happy when I read this part. Tier 7 to 10 German battleships. Accuracy of secondary guns increased by 22.5%. With this change and the improved secondary battery aiming skill announced as close quarters expert, accuracy of German battleships' secondary guns will be improved by 50%. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's still a nerf, though, but it's a much smaller nerf than what it was. So they straight up buffed the accuracy of secondary guns on German battleships from Tier 7 and up. Because actually, if you were playing a Tier 6 or below ship, you actually got a bit of a buff with the new secondary, what they call it now, improved secondary battery aiming skill. The new manual 5 for secondaries. You know, when you manually select your target, 6 and below got a straight up buff. It wasn't too much, but it was a bit, especially in the range department. But 7 and above, which the way manual fire works right now is if you're 6 and below, you get X amount of boost. If you're 7 and above, you get X amount of boost. And for 7 and above, it's a 60% boost to accuracy. So this, along with the 30% boost to accuracy, is a straight up 50% boost to the accuracy of secondary battery guns now, which is still 10% lower than what we have right now. However, the guns can now reach out to 12.5 kilometers on like ships like the Kurfürst, and every other ship from 10 and below did get a range increase as well, so that's nice. And the secondary guns can fire on both sides of the ship. This is a good change. It's a very, very, very good, a very big step in the right direction, and I thank Wargaming for improving it. However, I still would like to see a skill added in to where we have the skill that we have now, manual 5 for secondaries, where the secondaries won't fire on one half of the ship when you have a target selected. Or we could choose from this new skill where we can have both sides firing regardless of if a ship is selected on that side of the ship or not. One side with the boost, one side without the boost. So, I mean, thinking about this too, just right now, this is also a straight up buff to the base accuracy of the secondary guns. So that means that the side that isn't selected, that side will also have a 22% boost to accuracy, which is pretty significant, even without clicking. And when you click, you get the additional 30%. So, I mean, that is a big buff, honestly. That is, thinking about it in that regards. However, it is diminishing the ability for you to focus your secondaries in one ship. However, I've also read and heard that with this change now, the German battleship secondaries are now on par with the American secondaries in the rework. And if you remember back when I did the last video covering the secondaries in the rework, the American secondaries were honestly just fine. And if the German secondaries are on that level, then I think this is completely and totally workable now. I would still like to see a bit more of an increase in the accuracy because this is still kind of the gimmick of German battleships. Just from looking at these numbers right here, I haven't played any of this yet, and they have announced this is coming out in the next patch, so I don't know if they're going to do a test for it or maybe a PT session. It's a little bit close for that, but I'm much more comfortable with this than with what we were shown originally. So I'm optimistic about it. I'm still cautious about it. However, it is a big change. And again, thank you for doing this, Wargaming, because if they didn't do this, this would have crushed German battleships for sure. Alright, moving on. Vampire 2. Remove the ability to mount the propulsion modification 1 upgrade. Maximum torpedo damage increased from 16,767 to 19,500. Detectability range by ships lowered from 7.6 to 7.4 kilometers. Other detectability ranges were reduced accordingly. Okay, it looks like maybe they're going in more of a torpedo-y direction with the Vampire 2. We shall see how that winds up. Marco Polo. This is the Tier 9 Italian battleship with 9 16-inch guns. Main battery load time increased from 33 to 36 seconds. Wowzers. Main battery 180-degree turn time increased from 30 to 36 seconds. Oh, it had a 30-second 180 time on its turrets? Dang. So it basically gave it a decent turret rotation time from an amazing turret rotation time. And a 36-second reload, because it does have 16-inch sap, and that freaking slaps. So with reload module, you can still get that down to around 30 seconds, like 32, I believe. Alright. Cristoforo Colombo. This is the Tier 10 Italian battleship with 16 15-inch guns. Main battery 180 time increased from 30 to 40 seconds. Oof. So that's a pretty long 180 time now. Well, not pretty long. That's higher than average, but not incredibly high, obviously. So that is honestly not that bad either with the way the Colombo's turrets are set up. The rear two turrets can 360, so honestly turret rotation time isn't really that big of a deal. Unless, of course, you're stern in which case your front two turrets can't 180. So there is that. So nothing major there. Alright, speaking of Italian battleships, we're going to jump to those next. So, ST.10.1, so this is next patch. The Italian battleships event, clan battles, updated brawls, and other news. Closed testing of update 10.1 is starting. Early access to Italian battleships, brawl updates, 12th season of clan battles, and other news. Please note that all information in the development blog is preliminary. Announced adjustments and features may change multiple times during testing. The final information will be published on our game's website. Italian Battleships Part 1 and Update 10.1. Italian Battleships Tier 4 Dante Alighieri, Tier 5 Conte di Cavour, Tier 6 Andrea Doria, Tier 7 Francesco, oh god, yeah, Tier 8 Vittorio Veneto, and Tier 9 Lepanto will appear in early access. Branch features sap shells instead of HE shells. They inflict high damage on weakly and moderately protected targets and ships' parts, but do not cause fires. A large number of guns with quickly turning turrets, a relatively short firing range, and not very good accuracy. Decent concealment, maneuverability, and armor. Exhaust smoke generator among the consumables of Tier 8 to 10 ships, which will allow you to hide from enemies without sacrificing speed. So the same smoke that the Italian cruisers have and that Polo Emilio has. In honor of the event, the Taranto port was updated. The following items were added. Permanent Roman camouflage for Tiers 6 to 7 Italian battleships. Permanent Legion camouflage for Tier 8 to 10 Italian battleships. And I'll throw these up on screen right now. Well, that actually looks really nice. Wow. Oh, wow. What's that? That's the Tier 8. That's the Legion camouflage. Man, they went all out on that one. That looks freaking sweet, honestly. Look at that. Wow. Okay, then. And there's Taranto, my bad. About to get some angry Canadians and Italians up in here. Alright. Clan battles. From 24th of February to 12th of April, the 12th clan battle season will be held on Tier 9 ships in a 7v7 format. Ooh, does that mean no CVs? The details of the season will be announced later. The new season will be featuring one small yet very important change. We've added a system which allows to set limits on ships. We want to ensure that each battle type and game mode offers players diverse and interesting gameplay. This innovation will allow to maintain a more variable composition of teams and clan battles, and to prevent battles from becoming monotonous. Whew, Season 9 much? Restrictions may apply for the entire season or for a certain period of time. For example, they can be implemented only after the first 2 weeks of the season and replaced with others a few more weeks. That's very true, because the meta at the start of Clan Wars is very different from the meta at the end of Clan Wars. Possible restrictions. General limit on maximum number of identical ships that can go into battle. For example, a division cannot go into battle if more than 2 of the same ship are picked. Limit on the number of particular ships. For example, there can be no more than 1 Yamato and 1 Des Moines in the division. Restrictions on picking particular ships. For example, you cannot go into battle on Montana or Shimakaze. So they give a nice screenshot here and they show you like the restricted ships and stuff. What's very important to note is that the CV icon is straight up missing from the division screen, which I'm sure many of us are feeling like that right now. Brawls update. Brawls are updated for 10.1. Now you can participate in them either alone or in a division. Brawls have a short duration and support small battle formats like 1v1 or 3v3. I like that idea. Brawl lasts for only a few days. During the day is available almost all the time except for periods of low activity. If you have no division, the teammates are selected randomly. When selecting allies, the tier and class of your ship are taken into account. Teams can be asymmetrical in a ship classes. The matchmaker tries to pick enemies close to your level of play. Battles are conducted on maps with reduced combat areas on ships of only one tier. This is exactly what I was talking about the other, when was that, like 3 days ago? This is exactly what I was talking about when I said the game needed something like this, like a small game mode to where if you really just want to do a very small game mode like 1v1 or 2v2 or 3v3, just get in there, go for it, have a couple of fun quick rounds, and just kind of take a break from random battles. This is a very, very good thing, and I very much like that they're adding it in. Other changes and improvements. We're working on development of the key battle. Over the course of the test, 3 new ships based on Amagi, Holland, and Akazuki were added to the game for testing, and there were several balance changes made. The displays of the sun reflections on the water was updated. The quality of reflections, waves, and calm water areas was improved. On some maps, the amplitude and speed of the waves were increased. This is very good. They throw a couple of images up there to show that, and that actually looks really freaking nice. Wow, that's nice. That's purdy. It's downright purdy, y'all. So yeah, I'm very glad they're making those changes. Like I mentioned too in that video, the game does need a couple of graphical upgrades, so that's a good step in that direction as well. The visibility of aiming reticles of carrier squadrons was improved on all maps. Okay, so it's a bit more, it looks like it's a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit more noticeable, a bit more vibrant. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It's easier to see. So there you go, CV players. Bronze League, Silver League, and Gold League containers were added. They will be awarded for reaching rank 1 in the respective leagues and rank battles, but they don't show what they add in. Unique Dasha Perova commanders for Italian and European ships were added. So if you want Dasha to be your waifu on Italian and Pan EU ships, there you go. Permanent steel camouflages that can be mounted on any tier 10 ship was added. Permanent steel camouflages for Yamato, Shimakaze, and Des Moines will be automatically replaced with a new camouflage. Alright, so that's cool. So you can get this steel camouflage if you just want to throw your steel at the wall for a camouflage. You can now put this on any tier 10 ship. Okay, so that was a very interesting one to read, but wait, children, there are more. Alright, ST.10.1, new ships. So, I'm guessing this new German DD line's coming out in 10.1? That's friggin' fast. Okay. Researchable tier 7 to 10 German destroyers, as well as Japanese tier 7 battleship Hyuga, German tier 8 destroyer ZF2. Oh, it's ZF2. I thought you said ZF2. And the Waterline video. And British Tier 5 battleship Agincourt were added to the game for testing. Oh, they're being added in for testing, okay. Please note that all information in the development blog is preliminary. Announced adjustments and features may change multiple times during testing, yada yada yada. Final information is on their game's website. German destroyers. In the upcoming super test session, researchable Tier 7 to 10 German destroyers will be added to the game. Z31, Gustav, Julius Marker, Felix Schultz, and Elbing. Or is it Schultz? I think it's Schultz. Alright, so there's Z31. Boy, these are some big old ships. There's the Miker. There's the Schultz. Ooh, man, that's quite a lengthy ship. There's the Elbing, the spotting cruiser. Or scout cruiser, however that the word from yesterday translated. Currently, the concept of the alternative branch German destroyers implies the following features. Accurate 150mm guns, powerful AP shells with good damage, penetration capability, and improved ricochet angles. HE shells, on the contrary, deal moderate damage per minute. Availability of the hydroacoustic search and starting from tier 8 to the DFAA consumable. However, the new destroyers do not have a smoke generator. Great armor for the class, torpedoes with good reload time and decent speed but average damage and range. In terms of gameplay, the new German destroyers look like mobile mini-cruisers relying mainly on powerful AP shells and armor. The main targets for the new ships are singled-out targets, especially light cruisers, which can be damaged significantly by their AP shells. These newcomers are not particularly effective in fighting for caps due to their high detectability range and lack of smoke generator. Oh my god, they gave us the stats. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and just look at a couple of highlights real quick for each one. So the Maker, however you say that, tier 8. So she has 25,000 hit points, she has 19mm plating, and she has 5 150mm guns with a range of 11.9 kilometers. So what is the reload time? They have a Sigma of 2.0. Where is the reload time? Oh, 6.5 seconds. That is quite long on tier 8 DD. But what is the maximum damage in the AP shells? Maximum AP shell damage is 3,700. Okay. Maximum speed 36 knots. Alright, the Schultz. So again, 19mm of plating, 24,200 hit points, 3x2 150s. So firing to 12 kilometers. AP shell damage 3,900 and an AP shell initial velocity of 960 meters a second. Boy, they are absolutely flying. But reload time is 7.5 seconds. I get a 2.0 Sigma. Alright, the Elbing. Hit points 30,900 on a DD, ladies and gentlemen. 19mm of plating. Again, 3x2 150s. Firing range 12.3 kilometers. And a reload time of, where is it? 7.5 seconds. Maximum dispersion of 58 meters and a Sigma of 2. Wait, hold up. 58 meters. Oh my god. Hold up. What's the tier 9's maximum dispersion? 57 meters. The tier 8's. Oh my god. So this sounds like a point and click adventure. The shells are going to go like exactly where you point. Oh. Hold up. Let me see something real quick. Like, I know I don't play a lot of DDs, but a maximum dispersion of 58 meters, that sounds incredibly good. Which, I mean, would make sense that, you know, you're getting a freaking 7-second base reload time on a DD, so if you build into it your maximum, so like, you know, with the new, well, again, I don't know exactly the new commander skills, because this will be coming out one patch after the new commander skills, so I'm not sure if BF2 or its equivalent is still a thing anymore. So I think with the module, and I'm just, you know, crunching the numbers now using BFT, you can get that down to like, what, 5.5 seconds? Maybe, and then Adrenaline Rush on top of that. I'm not exactly sure how much that would affect it, you know, off the top of my head. But let's check something out right now, just to, you know, make sure I'm not going nutso. So let's see. On the small end right now, maximum dispersion is 118. Holy shiza. Let's see. Let's just check another one. Let's check the Khabarovsk. Actually, no, here the Kleber's right here in my carousel. Maximum dispersion 137 meters. Oh my god, boys. Oh my god. There's gonna be no dispersion on these DDs. That's insane. It just doesn't have any. So let's see, the Khabarovsk. It is 116. Oh boys. Oh boys. This is going to be, wow. Okay, so they give a lot in terms of DPM, but boys, those shells are freaking mean. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue on down after taking our nice little sidetrack there. Alright, ZF2, tier 8. It's a tier 8 dockyard. This is a new dockyard ship. One of the unfinished French Le Hardy class destroyers. I know I just butchered that. Captured in Germany in 1940. The project for the ship's completion assumed a complete replacement of the armament with German samples. The ship has a low detectability range, is equipped with hydroacoustic search and main battery reload booster consumable, but lacks smoke generator. Like her new researchable German destroyers, the ship has good armor and is quite mobile. With the main battery reload booster, ZF2 can fight enemy destroyers even with a relatively low standard DPM. Against any other target, her torpedoes, which have good reload speed, but average damage and range, will be of better use. Japanese battleship Hyuga, tier 7, if I said that right. The ship is a development of the Fuso class battleships with a different artillery layout. In the 1930s, the ship's speed, torpedo protection, and horizontal armor were improved during a thorough modernization. In comparison with Fuso, Hyuga's main guns have better accuracy and range, as well as a faster reload. British battleship Agincourt, tier 5. That is a lot of guns on that bad boy. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Agincourt is a unique 7-turret dreadnought battleship built by order of Brazil and then bought by the government of the Ottoman Empire. With the outbreak of the First World War, it was requisitioned by the UK and became part of the Royal Navy. So yeah, the UK pretty much went, we know you ordered this, but this is mine now. The ship's main features are a large number of main battery guns, good penetration capabilities, and improved ricochet angles of AP shells, as well as numerous secondary battery guns, which have a long range for the tier. So I hope right now that you can do on this ship what you can do on several pan ships, which is put the flag of whatever nation it served under up. So like, you know, you could put the Ottoman Empire's flag up, and you put the Brazilian Navy's flag up, or you can put the Union Jack up. That'd be pretty cool. So the characteristics, ZF2, she has 1x2 128mm guns, and also, okay, so she has 2 single-mounted 128s, and then 3 single-mounted 128s. What the heck? Oh, she does. Look at that. That is interesting to see. Okay. Yeah, one double-mounted 128 and 3 single-mounted 128s. Okay. Firing range 11.9 kilometers. AP shell damage 2,950. AP initial velocity 880 meters a second. With a 6.5 second reload time. Okay, so torpedo. She has 2x4 533 millimeter torps. Maximum damage 13,700 with an 8 kilometer range, 64 knot speed, and a reload time of 90 seconds. Not great, not terrible, but the reload time is nice. Okay, so the Hyuga, however you say that again, 60,700 hit points with 16 millimeters of plating. Ooh, wow. At tier 7? Okay. Main battery, 6x2, 356mm guns, firing range of 21.3 kilometers, maximum HE shell damage 5,700, chance to go to fire 25%, AP shell damage 10,200, AP initial velocity 775 meters, the 26-second reload time, that's where the armor went, and a maximum dispersion of 237 meters and a sigma of 1.8, pretty good for a tier 7 battleship without any mods put on it just yet. Alright, so the Agincourt, 7x2, 305mm guns, so that is 14 guns at tier 5. Hit points 48,400 and 19mm of plating, a whole 3 more millimeters of plating than a tier 7 battleship with the Hyuga there. Okay, so firing range of 15.3 kilometers, maximum AP shell damage 8,800. AP initial velocity 831 meters a second. Pretty quick for tier 5 battleships shells right there. And a maximum dispersion of 213 meters. That's pretty good. And sigma of 1.0. Alright. And what's the reload time there? 36 seconds. Yeah, I gotta pay for those 14 guns somewhere there. So her secondary guns, she has 10 76mm guns with a 5.5 kilometer range base. It's pretty good. And then 20 152s with a range of 5.5 kilometers base. The 76mm have a reload time of, it doesn't say. Okay then. Same with the 152s. They don't include a reload time there either. She has a maximum speed of 22 knots and a rotor shift time of 13.4 seconds. And she's detectable from 12.2 kilometers. She gets damage con and repair party. And the Hyuga, however you say it, damage con repair party Sparting aircraft. Let's go back up. I didn't check the German DD, see what they got as far as consumables. I know they said they get hydro and such. So the Elbing at tier 10 gets damage con, hydro, and DFAA. So yeah, same for the tier 9 and the tier 8 it seems as well. Yeah, they all get damage con, hydro, and DFAA. Okay, so that is everything in this update. I think this is like a 30-minute video. It's a pretty long one, so I apologize for that. But man, we just got a bunch of stuff dumped on us. So I'm pretty interested to see how all of this turns out and develops over time. I'm honestly excited by some of the stuff that they are adding, like the German destroyers and the Agincourt. And I'm very excited and happy to hear that they are buffing the German battleship secondaries. I do think they need a little bit more, but again, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. So far for most of this, I think it's pretty good. I don't see too much of a downside beside, of course, the commander rework. If they would just do away with it, I think that would be for the best. But with them pushing it out and being so adamant about pushing it out, I think they've started to now take steps in the right direction with some of the changes that they have made. But again, overall, I think it would be the best if they just tossed the whole thing out the window, in my personal opinion. But the Italian battleship event, I'm looking forward to that. Again, some of those camouflages look really freaking nice. German DDs, I'm really excited to get my hands on those. The Agincourt, the Hyuga, I'm not too excited about that. You know, more sniping battleships being added in. But, I don't think it'd be that popular with a 16mm armor plating, especially on the bow, because you could sneeze on it and citadel it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way now to 25,000 subs, past 21,800 yesterday, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday, and I will be live streaming right here on the channel tonight from 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time until 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So please come out and join us for that. Again, hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.